This is Hedgehog Racing installing a push button starter. We're going to leave the key mechanism in situ, so the push button starter will be literally completely functionless, but it's kind of cool. This thing is fairly simple and cost about 20 quid off eBay. It has to be fairly simple, otherwise I wouldn't be able to do it. It's really just a bunch of switches. These accessory switches we're just going to leave doing nothing for now, but we're going to have the ignition switch wired in and the engine start button wired in. This blue wire, which runs up towards the ignition barrel, the one which has already got some plastic stripped off it, is the ignition wire. So we're just going to cut that and run an extra wire down to our new ignition switch. Right, soldered some new blue wire on, so now that ignition wire is extended and is coming out here and just goes to the ignition switch. So now nothing happens unless you have the key in the on position. Still nothing happens, indicators don't come on. And then if you put the ignition switch on as well, now I've got lights on the dash, now the car is on. Now onto wiring the engine push start button. So around the back, I've got two contacts here. Essentially pushing the switch is just going to close a connection here, a 12 volt connection, which is going to run to this relay and close the 85, 86 connectors. That's step one. Once the 8586 has a 12 volt connection, in other words the relay is energized, that will create a connection which will subsequently make between 87 and 30, where we're going to attach the starter motor wires. The reason for that is that we want the large current starter motor running through the relay and not just through a small switch which can burn out. So this black wire with the blue line down the side, that's the starter motor wire. We need to hook that through the relay. This end is just going to where the ignition barrel was, so we can forget about that. It's just going to be blind ended. The other end needs to hook into our relay, and the relay is also going to be connected here, which is the 12 volt positive supply. So in other words, when the relay closes, there's going to be a connection between the 12 volt positive and the starter motor. So basically left with a big ball of messy wires which I'll tidy up, but essentially this the white wire here is just an extension from that 12 volt positive from underneath the steering column. Comes out this way, comes out this way, comes out this way. That's attached to nothing at the moment. Here's the relay. So the relay black wire, just connected to ground, just crocodile clipped it onto a bit of metal for now. Now to switch the relay on or energize the relay, or however you want to say it, you essentially just make a connection between ground, that's already connected, and the white wire. So you'll now hear it click. Right, relay clicking to say that it's energized. Right, now croc clip together those two bare ends of white wire, so the relay's already energized. Then if I just touch the positive end of the starter motor wire in there, starter motor fires. And now all wired in. So two blue cables are from the ignition coming into the ignition switch. Now spliced a little white cable coming in here, which is going to be positive 12 volts when the ignition's on, to this push button switch. When the push button switch is switched, it goes to the white wire of the relay. Relay's back there, zip tied in, and then the black wire from the relay just goes to ground, which is just crocodile clips at the moment. And moment of truth. Ignition on.